Now, I'm not the first person in the world to have this opinion, and I'm not the first YouTuber to make a video about it. This will not be the first time you've seen somebody talk about this on YouTube, probably. But I've been a fan of Dragon Ball for about 16 years now, I would say. There was one point when I was really little that my dad took me to someone's house, like a friend of the family or whatever. I don't remember who they were, but they had a PS1, and they had, I think it was Dragon Ball GT Final Bout, and I played it, and I was like, these characters are pretty cool. And I had no idea what GT was, but that was my first introduction to Dragon Ball as a whole. And I eventually got to watch Dragon Ball Z, play Budokai Tenkaichi, play the original Budokais. I got to play Sagas. I got to play all these Dragon Ball games. I watched the original Dragon Ball. I watched GT. I watched Kai. I've absorbed a lot of Dragon Ball in my life. So anybody in my comments on my posts that likes to say, you don't know what to think about Dragon Ball because you think Super Saiyan can beat Goku, I'm a veteran, all right? I don't want to hear it. Also, just recently, I got the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Look at him. He's beautiful. I got this at GameStop for like $15. Point is, today we're going to be speaking of Super Saiyans, we're going to be talking about how Super Saiyan over time has kind of like lost its luster, I suppose. Because the very first time you ever hear Super Saiyan, it's Vegeta talking about this legend of this mighty Saiyan warrior that only appears once every 1,000 years, and he's a Super Saiyan. He's this demonic Saiyan warrior, and he's basically unstoppable. Now, that was changed so that the legendary Super Saiyan is the demonic Saiyan warrior that only appears every 1,000 years. But that's not canon anymore. I actually don't know if Broly is still a legendary Super Saiyan in Dragon Ball Super. Oh, but we will, don't worry about that. This is a new shirt. Oh my god! Point is, I actually don't know if he's still a legendary Super Saiyan. Point is, Vegeta gives this explanation about what a Super Saiyan is, and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. I kind of want to see what comes of that. And we see from Goku's very first Super Saiyan transformation against Frieza that it takes, not only do you have to reach your own limits physically, but you need mental anguish, you need desperation in order to trigger that transformation for the very first time. That's why in the Lord Slug movie, was it Lord Slug or Dead Zone? I'll find out later and put it on the screen. In either Lord Slug or Dead Zone, Goku reaches a state called False Super Saiyan, which is described as like when a Saiyan has the physical might but lacks the mental anguish or whatever, the mental strife to achieve the form. And that's kind of cool. But we see not only from him that that Super Saiyan form takes a lot to reach, but we see it later on because after Goku defeats Frieza, we see another Super Saiyan, and it's like, whoa, there's two? That's actually really cool. What's this guy's story? And that's Trunks. There's also, like, you learn that Super Saiyan itself is not a power level, because Goku as Super Saiyan still completely outclasses Trunks as a Super Saiyan, but Trunks as a Super Saiyan can still decimate Frieza. So it's kind of like your first really true bit of power scaling when it comes to the Super Saiyan form. But if you watch History of Trunks, you find out that in the future that he's from, where it was being held under an iron fist by androids 17 and 18, Trunks was being trained by Gohan because Goku was dead, Piccolo was dead, Vegeta was dead. There was nobody left but Gohan and Trunks to try to fight these guys. So Gohan was doing his best to teach Trunks, but he could not get him to become a Super Saiyan. But upon Gohan's death at the hand of the androids, Trunks finally breaches that barrier and turns Super Saiyan for the very first time, and it's really cool. He passes out from the strain, and now he can achieve Super Saiyan. And even after that, it takes a lot of training to be able to access that power on command. Like, because Trunks was actually like pleased to see that Goku could become a Super Saiyan whenever he wanted. So that was actually like all really interesting. I don't know how Gohan became a Super Saiyan in that timeline. I would assume it had to do with his dad's death. But Vegeta also goes on to become a Super Saiyan in this same saga. And the way he does that is he pushes himself harder and harder trying to catch up to Goku. But then he has his first of two realizations that he can't. Like, he's beaten himself to a bloody pulp, and he's like, look, I cannot surpass Kakarot. There's just something about him that I can't pass him. He's better than I am. And that loss of his pride, his Saiyan pride that he holds closer to him than anything else, that is what got him to become a Super Saiyan for the very first time. So it's not exactly the same as losing a loved one, but losing his self-identity was just as impactful for him. That's very important. Now, beyond this, there are grades to the Super Saiyan form. There's grade 2, grade 3, and grade 4, which is full power. These can be achieved through just physical training and pushing yourself beyond your limits. It's kind of just like an ascended state. It's like if an Uchiha from Naruto has to do something traumatic or see something traumatic or whatever to activate their base Sharingan, the 1 Tomoe Sharingan. Think of grades 2, 3, and 4 of Super Saiyan as the 2nd Tomoe and the 3rd Tomoe. We can't use Mangekyo because that's a different thing. But when you get to Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, it's been said the entirety of Z that Gohan has the most hidden potential out of all the characters because there's something about the genetic makeup of a half Saiyan, half human. Because humans have great potential, like we see in Tien, Yamcha, and Krillin, and Saiyans have limits, but they exceed at breaking those limits. That's why you get like limit breaker type terms or whatever, and the Ultra Instinct form or whatever. I don't want to talk about that today because that's not a Super Saiyan form. Maybe I will. We'll see. But Goku decides not to try to defeat Cell because he knows he can't, but he believes Gohan can. He thinks Gohan is strong enough to make something happen and defeat Cell. Lo and behold, Cell kills Android 16, and that triggers Gohan to become the first ever Super Saiyan 2. I wish he was the only Super Saiyan 2 because he's the one that's got the hidden potential. This boy... Oh, he came off of his thing. This boy is supposed to be the one that has all this hidden potential, all this latent power. So him being the only Super Saiyan 2 makes a lot of sense. Because why would there be multiple Super Saiyan 2s? Goku could only reach Super Saiyan full power. Trunks could only reach Super Saiyan grade 3. Vegeta could reach grade 3, but decided to stay at grade 2 so he could keep his speed. Gohan was the one that went through enough to become a Super Saiyan 2. Even after Trunks was killed right in front of Vegeta, Vegeta did not become a Super Saiyan 2. This was a Gohan exclusive ability from what we'd seen. And I really wish that it had stayed that way. This thing's really not working. But then, Goku dies and spends 7 years in Otherworld, apparently training his ass off, because when he returns, not only is he able to access the Super Saiyan 2 form, but he has a brand new form called Super Saiyan 3. Now, his first transformation to Super Saiyan 3 is awesome. It's epic. But I hate the form. I don't hate how it looks. I think it looks cool because it's starting to get a little monkeyish with the eyebrows. But it doesn't get anything done. It doesn't accomplish anything. Goku can't make anything happen in the form, and neither can Gotenks. So we have 2 Super Saiyan 3s, and it doesn't change anything. Also, Vegeta has Super Saiyan 2 now. I don't remember if it was from the power boost he was given by Babidi, or if he already had access to it. Or if it's something that he got after he came back to life. I really just don't remember all that very well. I'll have to research that before I do the next Drunk Explained video. And then you come to... But what's funny about that Vegeta being able to reach Super Saiyan 2 is he said after Goku died that he wasn't going to fight anymore because he had no reason to. He didn't have an arch nemesis to surpass. He didn't have a rival. He didn't want to fight anymore. So what kind of not fighting are you doing that you can achieve the next level of Super Saiyan? Point is, Goten and Trunks. Trunks does train in multiplied gravity to achieve Super Saiyan, but even then, that's just the physical might. So he should only be able to access like false Super Saiyan. He doesn't have the mental strife that you need. And then Goten just goes Super Saiyan, like at the drop of a hat. Yeah, he's training with Gohan for the tournament, but again, he hasn't gone through anything that should allow him to become a Super Saiyan. So Goten and Trunks is where I really start to feel like the Super Saiyan form doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't hold any weight whatsoever. Now, I would like to talk about GT. I know it's like, blah, blah, blah. All right. It introduced a new Super Saiyan form. All right. I don't want to hear it. I'm not going to talk too much about Super Saiyan 4. I love it. I love its design. I love its concept. I love that it finally calls to mind the fact that Saiyans are monkeys. Like, you have great apes and you have Super Saiyans. Why do they not overlap at any point until you get to Super Saiyan 4? And I don't exactly know who wrote Dragon Ball GT, but I really appreciate them and the design team for making Super Saiyan 4 look apish, because that's very important to me. I also love the first time that Goku has to use it. Because, I mean, he's a kid, so he can't hold Super Saiyan 2 or 3 for very long. He's losing really badly to baby Vegeta, and he's desperate. And it's like, Goku, we need you. And then, what I don't like is that he uses the moon, or no, that he uses the Earth as a moon to become an ape. We don't have to talk about that, that's fine. But what I love is that, like, when he goes Super Saiyan 4, he becomes an adult again. You know what I mean? Because we all know that Goku was a kid for pretty much the entirety of GT, because he got wished into a kid. But the Super Saiyan 4 form is so powerful that it undoes a wish made by, like, granted by Shenron. Granted, he doesn't stay an adult, but whenever he's Super Saiyan 4, he's an adult, and I love that. And then Vegeta becomes a Super Saiyan 4 without a tail, because he has Bulma shoot him with these Blitzwave guns, and then he just becomes a Super Saiyan 4, and then they fuse into Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, which is the coolest fusion. Okay. I still prefer Vegito, but I'm not going to say that Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta isn't the coolest fucking thing ever. I'm not stupid. Then we get to Dragon Ball Battle of Gods and Resurrection F and Super. I'm not going to acknowledge the movies or the manga for the purpose of this conversation. I'm just going to talk about Super. So you have the Super Saiyan God, which is this, like, legendary thing, this fable of another type of Saiyan warrior that would appear once every however many years or whatever. Sure. It isn't said to be Goku, but because Goku is the main character, of course, it falls on him to become the Super Saiyan God. How does he become the Super Saiyan God? 4 Saiyans and a pregnant woman hold hands, and they touch Goku, and they transfer their light energy to him, and he becomes a Super Saiyan God. And can now sense God Ki. The thing about that is, though, God Ki is a completely different kind of thing. So Saiyans, these mortal Saiyans, transferring their mortal energy to you, should not translate into God Ki. I'm sorry. So they fight. Well, he fights Lord Beerus for a while, and the Super Saiyan God form is not strong enough to defeat him. And I get that they wanted to keep Beerus around as a character, so they couldn't have Goku, like, kill him or anything like that. But the whole thing is about the Super Saiyan God doing battle with Beerus. Why is it so weak that it can't even force Beerus to use all of his power? I know he said he used all his power. He lied. He very plainly lied. So you have this whole thing that is about Goku becoming a Super Saiyan God to fight Beerus. And even though he puts up a great fight, I love the Beerus Goku fight, he doesn't win. And then, fast forward a little bit, Frieza shows up. I like Frieza. I liked that Frieza came back once. I don't like that he's still around. But he trains for a little while. He gets his golden form. He starts he starts fighting Goku and Vegeta, and then Goku pops out this Super Saiyan blue form out of nowhere. If you don't know exactly what I'm talking about, it's this form. Now they don't fuse into Vegito in this moment, but they do have this blue hair. I'm gonna hold him again. It's enough to defeat Frieza, which I appreciate because it's been a while since the new Super Saiyan form was actually enough to defeat a villain that they were fighting. But it's still like it comes out of nowhere. There's no build up to it. Goku and Vegeta don't go through anything to achieve the form. They just train so hard that they get it. And I get... Goku says, let's just say I got a taste of something called Super Saiyan God, and then I learned how to tap into that power on my own. And this is the Super Saiyan version of that. Learned how to tap into Super Saiyan God on his own. I don't really know what that means, but, you know, I'll roll with it. So, Super Saiyan Blue is the Super Saiyan form of Super Saiyan God, which is basically a new base form. That's cool. Fine, whatever. Why did it come so easy for him, though? We don't know how long he trained, but he didn't train all that long. And he didn't go through any mental strife. So I don't understand how Goku achieved Super Saiyan Blue. And then Vegeta had Super Saiyan Blue, which means that he had to go to get Super Saiyan God first, right? How? Like, oh, he was training with a god or whatever. He was training with an angel. Yeah, but that's not how you become a Super Saiyan God. That doesn't make any sense to me. Whatever. Then I guess if you want to, you can fast forward to like the Universe 6 tournament where Kaba becomes a Super Saiyan for the first time, and it's made clear that Kaba in his base form is as strong as Vegeta in his base form. How? I had no idea. Maybe he was just born ultra strong. Because let's think about this for a second. This is a Vegeta who fought Goku for the very first time, like 14 or 15 years ago. So 14 or 15 years of training to get him to this brand new point. Like this base form would curb stomp Super Saiyan 2 Majin Vegeta from the Buu Saga. That's just how that works because his base is so much stronger. But if he were to transform, he would still get that same power multiplier, but his base is a lot stronger now. So I don't know how Kaba is as strong as he is. I really don't. But he gets on Kaba for not being able to become a Super Saiyan. And so then he teaches him how to in their fight. Because it's very clear that Kaba is strong enough to achieve his Super Saiyan form. But he hasn't been through the mental strength that I've been talking about. And so he's like, hey, if you don't beat me, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill your family. I'm gonna kill your friends. I'm gonna destroy your planet. And that was enough to get Kaba to become a Super Saiyan. Pretty cool, right? I like Kaba. I think he's pretty cool. But then, Kale and Caulifla. Kaba's like, oh, you should feel this tingly sensation in your back. And then they just go Super Saiyan. They're Goten and Trunks. And it's like, people are like, oh, if you don't like Kale and Caulifla, you're not allowed to like Goten or Trunks. And I'm like, well, at least Goten is the son of the first Super Saiyan in however many years, and the brother of the first Super Saiyan 2. Maybe that sort of thing is hereditary. Trunks was training with Vegeta, who, as we've seen with Kaba, is very adept at bringing out the Super Saiyan form in somebody else. Kale and Caulifla, what were they doing? They were just like, I don't know who their parents are, whatever. But I don't want to talk too much about them. That is what made the Super Saiyan form not special anymore, because now you don't need to be at your own limits. You don't need to have mental strength. You don't need to have anything. You just need an itch in your back. And I know that's a real principle in martial arts, but this is Dragon Ball, where a couple of earrings can you see that? Yeah, a couple of earrings can fuse two people together. So I wouldn't worry about I wouldn't worry too much about real life principles. Now, I guess we can discuss Ultra Instinct for a hot second because here's the thing about like Super. They did not want to introduce too many new Super Saiyan forms. That was very clear because across across the same like 75% of the same length as Dragon Ball Z, there were two Super Saiyan forms, whereas Z had three. Well, it had more than three if you want to count all the grades. Goku stacks Kaioken on his Super Saiyan Blue. There's also the Mastered Super Saiyan Blue where they don't radiate that glow anymore. It's kind of like Super Saiyan Full Power. And Vegeta gets Super Saiyan Evolution. You really don't know what that is, but it's basically they gave Vegeta this so that he could keep up with Goku when he's using his Kaioken. Now, that being the case, when they finally do decide, hey, here's a new form, not really a new form, a new state of being called Ultra Instinct for Goku, it's very confusing on the surface because he's not stronger, but he is like fighting on reflex. At least in Super Saiyan, at least in Ultra Instinct Omen, that's what we're seeing. He is fighting without thinking, and it makes him unpredictable, and it makes him very hard to counter. He's not any stronger than he's been this whole tournament, but he's just harder to fight, if that makes any sense. Although, he is putting pressure on Jiren, even though he's not even in Super Saiyan 1, so he's as weak as he could possibly be. He was on the brink of death after nearly blowing himself up with his own spirit bomb, but whatever. And then you get Mastered Ultra Instinct, which I actually don't know how he achieves that. I did not watch that far. I don't like the Tournament of Power. Which, from what I've seen, is ridiculously powerful. Like, it's stronger than Super Saiyan Blue. And I don't know how that is. I don't know how that works. It's Ultra Instinct. He's not... And I also don't like that it's got white hair, because now it looks like Super Saiyan 6. Where are you getting 6? 1, 2, 3. God, Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan. Alright, 1, 2, 3, God, Blue. That's what I meant to do. And now we have Master Ultra Instinct, because he's got the white hair and it looks like a new Super Saiyan form. I'm sorry, it just does. And, like, I don't like it as a concept. I don't like it as a design. I don't like what it does. He can't even access it on his own, which I guess kind of makes up for it. So now we're not just going to be seeing him spam it everywhere. But I still just, I don't like Ultra Instinct. I don't like Master Ultra Instinct. I like Omen where he's got the gray silvery hair and like the grayed out eyes. Because you get to see from his vision, he has no idea what's going on. He's basically in a trance the whole time. Like, he has no control over himself, which is very vital for Ultra Instinct. But, as I said, somehow, once the hair turns white, he just gets way stronger. And if he were to ever learn to, like, tap into Ultra Instinct on his own, he would just be unstoppable. Now, here's the thing. It's called Mastered Ultra Instinct, right? But he still doesn't know how to access it on command. Doesn't sound very mastered to me. I'm sorry. Maybe that's just me. Anyway, I'm sure that's been enough of me rambling about Super Saiyan. I'll see you soon.